Oh, it started. It started already. Okay. Good morning. It is Friday. It is the 15th day of July, 2016. And we're just going to put a little product in our hair about it. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you know, in case you were curious, it smells luscious. It is that. And I have still not done my nails. No, I have not. And do I want to stick it up today? No. I have decided that I absolutely love boy hair. I love having my hair cut this short. I really do. It may not be the most gorgeous thing in the world, but it's quite comfortable for me. And it's quite easy to fix. So, there it is. I am home from my 96 hours, 48 at one place, 48 at the other place. Not a bad time. So I got my first one of these little bags in the mail this week. And at first I thought, well, $10 a month, I don't know if that's going to be worth it, but they seem like pretty high quality products. So my mother would have actually loved this. My mother was a fiend for makeup. It seemed like one of these was a concealer and one was a moisturizer. What was what? That's one of them things where you need your glasses. That is well, honey, that's in French. Well, how am I supposed to know what it is? I kid you not. Everything, it's all, let's see, makeup primer. Primer. Oh, well, honey, let's prime it up. And then what's this? This is Too Faced After Using Hangover Refreshing Face Primer. Well, it's a face primer too. It's got coconut water, lower. Well, honey, I don't know what to use. I'll use the one that's got the coconuts in it. So I survived almost. Oh, tiny little baby tube. Not so tiny. I can't say that I survived an entire week, but I survived half a week with my little pink phone. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole... Oh, okay. You can't tell. We'll find out. I really did. I enjoyed the freedom of not checking my Facebook incessantly and not having to answer. Because here's the thing. I'm one of these people, I get real OCD about it. If somebody comments on something, I feel like I have to comment right back. And if I don't, I'm being rude. You know what I'm saying? So I get real bunched up about it. But it was nice. Number one, it's nice to be able to put makeup on. This is the first time I've put makeup on, and I could not tell you, because when I put it on at work, I just sweat it right back off. I do. But it was just, like I said, I don't talk on the phone, and the only time I really need my phone at work is when I need to call the hospital to give a patient report. So it was very lovely. I'm not even going to lie to you. It was very, very lovely to just have, and no distractions. It was nice. And quite honestly, half the time I had it turned off. So, but I did switch over to my smartphone this morning when I got off duty, because I have things I have to go do and blah, blah, blah. And I like having my little... I could have used my Google Maps last night, but we use Maymay's phone. Now this is some kind of concealer. I don't know who makes it, and I'm not even going to try to look. But it looks kind of luscious. We'll see if it works. Well, honey, I can't even see that. Can y'all see that? I can't. Okay, maybe it's doing something. Well, children, that don't look like it's doing nothing. Does it? Maybe it is. I can't tell. So that's the problem about, and it's not really a problem, the fact that I'm a vampire and it's always dark in here, but I guess when you're trying to put your makeup on it. But we'll see. The thing that I don't like about concealer is when it gets all cakey looking. I don't like that. I tell you, I would be almost inclined to be one of them people that just goes and gets makeup tattooed on their face, so that they never have to do their face again. Yeah. Well, it's very soft. It almost feels kind of like lotion. I don't know. We'll see once we get to the lot, Carol Ann. Did I even bring the rest of my makeup with me? Well, no, I did not. It's in the bathroom. All right, well that's okay. We'll have to go in there and get it later. We'll fix everything else. I want to wear. No, what is that? That's an eyebrow or eyeliner. I'm not good with eyeliner. I get that stuff all over the place. I want to wear my. Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to wear my green watch because it matches my shirt. But I want to wear my Minnie Mouse watch just because it's Minnie Mouse. But it doesn't match what I have on. So. It doesn't match, so I'll wear this one. Time is correct. So it was not a bad week for me to have. We were a little busy last night, and we didn't get back until it was like 5 o'clock this morning. So by the time I washed the ambulance and did what I had to do, it was 7. I go off duty at 8, and I thought, well, I'll just lay down for an hour. Yeah, I woke up at 9 something. So there it is. And I'd kind of like to wear some earrings today. My ears are so sensitive. I got these big giant hoops. If anybody wants the big giant pairs, let me know and I'll give them to you, because I don't do giant hoops. I do that size hoops, if not smaller. I got my ears pierced when I was a little kid, and the old broad must have been drunk because she pierced them way up here instead of like normal people piercings. So I have to, if I wear a hoop, I have to get a good size hoop, because like them little tiny baby hoops, they don't fit. They don't fit. They look funny about it. All right, so because I was using only my, I'm going to start calling, has anybody ever seen that movie Juno, which I think is hysterical, and there's like one scene where she has this phone and it looks like a hamburger, and she was talking to one, or she was talking to somebody, either a friend or called somebody, and she said, hang on, I'm talking to you on my hamburger phone. I'm just going to start calling this my hamburger phone. It doesn't look like a hamburger, and it's not shaped like a hamburger, but I'm just going to call it my hamburger phone. So if I call you and I say, what are you doing? I'm talking to you on my hamburger phone. You know that I'm calling you from this, okay? I think I turned it off. Okay, anyway. All right. But because that's what I had with me for the greater part of the week, I missed out on a lot of the Facebookings and things that went on and this, that, and the other. So I get to looking this morning and I see where some fool gets in a big old truck and mows down a bunch of people and kills like 80 people. Intentionally does it. It wasn't some sort of accident. It wasn't some sort of, oops, didn't mean to. This fool gonna get in his car and run people. It wasn't a car, it was a big truck, and run people over. And then I saw a picture of a lady, a Muslim lady, that was covered in eggs because some boys decided they was just gonna go ahead and pelt her with them. Sometimes I think that Jesus looks down on us and cries and shakes his head because people, I don't understand. It's hard for me to understand how anybody could have that kind of hate in their heart to want to harm another person. To me, honestly, and I'll just go ahead and put it out there. I can understand, let's say, if and I'm not justifying nothing. I'm not saying y'all should go out and kill nobody, but I can understand it if somebody murdered your child. You know what I'm saying? If your child got murdered and you knew who did it, I could understand the impulse of the parent wanting to go take that person out. I could. I mean, yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's a sin. It is wrong. But I can see it. I can understand it. What I don't understand is getting in a vehicle and mowing down people who, what do they do to you? Do you know what I'm saying? The Muslim lady who they covered her names, she doesn't represent all Muslims. And not all Muslims are bad. There's good and bad in all of us. Okay? There's good and bad in all of us. It's just that in people like that, it's the bad that prevails. Do you know what I'm saying? It's almost kind of like, I don't know if they lack a conscience or they lack like a filter. They're lacking in something. We weren't made to be hateful, and we weren't made to be harmful, and we weren't made to kill one another, and we weren't made to do all these things that people ultimately do. And I think at the end of the day, the only thing that you're left with is just praying. And I mean really earnestly praying as hard as you possibly can, because people are just, they're crazy. They're crazy. The police officers being shot and innocent people being shot, and where does it end? Where does it end? And it really makes you it really makes you stop and think about, it's got to be close to the end of the world. Alicia used to say that to me all the time, and I would get so upset. I don't know why, but I would get so upset when she would start talking about, well, it's the end of the world. I'm like, would you stop saying that? But what else? I mean, it's almost kind of like we're destroying each other. We're just turning inwards on one another. And I mean, and I'm not trying to step on no toes, and I'm not judging nobody who plays it, but this whole Pokemon thing that's going on right now, and if y'all play it, that's cool, that's fine. I'm not about to judge you for it. Okay, do what you must. But I'm gonna make a point. God, these nails. Seriously, word. I bet my patients this week were like, "How you doing?" But I smell pretty, so that's all that matters. What was I gonna say? Oh, Pokemon. Okay. So here's the thing. When we talk about priorities, and we talk about society, and we talk about all these different things, and I've made this point on more than one occasion, and I'm fixing to make it again. So if you've heard it before, just sit back and relax, because I'm fixing to put it all out there again. We live in a society where we have everything we could ever possibly think of needing, and then some. And we want to sit back and talk about how this going on and that going on, and poverty in the world, and you'll hear people talk about these third world countries, and one of the things that absolutely gets my goat, and I hate it when somebody tries to get my goat. I like my goat, and I like my goat where it's at. Well, why are we helping them when we have people in the United States that are starving or whatever? Okay, here's a couple things about that. Number one, God made all of us. So it ain't about United States versus third world country. Guess what, honey? Jesus made it all. God made it all. So how you going to sit there, if you call yourself a Christian, and if you call yourself a child of God, how you going to sit there and make a distinction between his children? Who's more important? Who deserves to be helped? Who should be helped? Who should be saved? Another thing, we live in the richest society. We live in this advanced, all these technological and medical advances and strides that are made, and when we generate all this money for stupidity. Okay? There is technology available for people to take their phones and to go out and chase whatever. Honey, what in the hot kingdom of hell to the gnaw is this thing about anyway? It's about chasing some little thing and you collect them and I don't know. But now we can do that. We can do that all day long. We can create that kind of stuff all day long. And that kind of stuff don't come cheap. That you don't just create that and, oh, it's free. You know, they create, and when I say they, I mean these computer people and whomever. I don't know. I'm not a computer person, but whomever is in charge of creating and marketing this kind of stuff. We can generate all this money for stuff like that, and people are starving. We generate all this money to carry out war and to carry out stupidity, and we've got people dying. We've got people dying in the streets. We've got people going to bed hungry. We've got people going to bed under bridges. And we can't do anything about that. No, it's just somebody else's problem. That's somebody else's problem. You know, we're going to pass the buck on that. But by golly, we'll create a game that you can go. You can go to the mall, and you can go to the post office, and you can go to the Piggly Wiggly, and you can find this little character, and you can get points. And it's at those times I wonder if Jesus is up there shaking his head saying, really? I put you all here for this? I mean, it really it just makes you wonder. It makes me wonder. I don't know. And like I said, if you are a Pokemon chaser, I ain't trying to rain on your parade, and I ain't trying to judge you. You just keep going on and doing your Pokemon things. I'm just saying, as a society, gee-oh, honey, I don't know. And just the hate, and I mean, my prayers, it almost seems like grow exponentially day in and day out, because it just seems like there's just every day there's just more, and there's more, and there's more, and there's more, and there's more to pray about, and that's fine. I'm not complaining, you know, having to pray a little extra. I'm saying that it's sad that one should have to, that we should have to pray for the things that we're praying for. And it's disheartening. At best, it's disheartening. So I don't know what the answer is. I really don't. I know what the answer is. Jesus is the answer, but you can't always get everybody on that path. For me, the answer is Jesus, and I wish it could be for everybody else. I wish everybody could see and find and have the peace that I have in my life because of him. It's amazing, you know. And there's no room for hate. I mean, when you have Jesus in your heart, you ain't got room for nothing else. You ain't got room for all this pettiness and all this hate. You know, I'm not saying I'm perfect, honey. Sinners, I tell you, sinners, one and all. I mean, every single one of us. There ain't one of us out there. You know, you get some of these church folk try to act like they all buttery and what, honey, you ain't buttery. You salty is what you are. Okay. But there's just something that happens, honey, when you give it over to God and you give your heart to God and you let him in. There's just something about it that, I don't know, it brings about a peace. It brings about a faith, a deepening of your faith and an understanding, and you feel like Myrtle's Girdle Shop. We fetch them, you stretch them. This is Gladys. How may I help you? Honey, I got my girdle on and I am ready. Where you at? You're where? Have no idea, honey. Okay, see, that's how you have to roll with it. You got to give me minutes, you see. Yeah. Yeah. Are you hungry? I know you want to drive so you can smoke your cigarettes. I thought you was going to quit smoking cigarettes. Yeah. Okay, well, you'll just enjoy the cigarettes while you can, is what you're saying. Honey, you just go right ahead with it. All right, bend your knees. Bye. My friend is coming over, and honey, we're gonna go to the Inez because I gotta go get my paycheck into Inez, and then she's trying to stop smoking them cigarettes, so she wants to go to one of them vape shops, you see, and get her one of them vaping deals so that she can stop the smoking of the cigarettes. I bought her a vape thing a while back. It went over like a turd in a punch bowl. So I will pray for her that she will stop the smoking of the cigarettes. What are you gonna do? She really wants to quit. So, all right. Threw me off track. Don't know where I was at. I was probably rambling on about something. Who knows? Just the state of the world. I don't know, dude. I mean, it's. Some days I got nothing. I think it's a water pill kind of day, y'all. Vitamins, water pills, so that I don't be bloated. Iron pills, so that I feel like I have more blood than I actually do. Vitamin B12, so I feel like I have more energy than I. Honey, I've got these coconut peels. I put them in one of my old ibuprofen. They look like suppositories. I kid you not. I put them in one of my, because I get prescription ibuprofen. So I thought, well, I'm going to start taking these coconut peels. Because you know how they say, honey, coconut good for everything. Lord, honey, take you some coconut. But children, I'm going to go ahead and let you right now know that, honey, when I opened that bottle, I was like, well, do you take them orally or do you take them rectally? Look at that thing. I want to cut one of them open and see what's in it. Remember like them Stretch Armstrong dolls that we had when we was kids? I was dying to know what was in one of them. I swear I thought it was maple syrup. I did. I was like, they made a doll with maple syrup in it. And I almost had myself convinced I could smell maple syrup on that doll. I know. Honey, she faded this hair. She sure did. I love boy hair. I can't help it. My mother didn't. She hated it when I cut all my hair off. My aunt loves it. My Aunt Deb loves it. I don't know about my other aunties if they love it so good, but I do love it so good. So I'm going to have to wait and get this color to fade off because my natural hair is kind of brown, but as evidenced by this, it's kind of turning a little white about it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, that's the, okay. So I'm going to take my happy pills. If you all have not been introduced to the Prozac, children, honey, I will tell you right now. Somebody can poop on my shoes and I just smile at them. And I say, well, bless your heart, honey. It's true. They make me really happy. Ibuprofen, they make me really not crippled. And, you know, I was telling the girls at work the other day, I said, you know, there's benefits to forgetting to take your medication because I am notorious for forgetting to take it. I've tried it. Honey, I've tried pill peppers. I've tried little timers. I've tried, and let's see, I got these filled on June the 3rd, and supposed to take one every day. And I filled it June 3rd, and there's still that many left. Yeah, and that's pretty much how it is with the rest of my meds too. I was supposed to have had this refilled. Let's see, these are my happy pills, and I filled those on June 3rd, and it's now July, whatever it is. So yeah, and I still have that many left. I forget to take them. I can't help it. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? Oh. I guess I should probably try to slap some more makeup on my face. I don't think that just concealer is going to get it. Oh. Anyway, I was talking about Jesus. Yes. If more people, honey, had Jesus in their heart, we would not live in the society that we live in today. I just believe that to be true. And like I said, just because you get right with God, just because you get some Jesus, it don't mean that you're perfect. Honey, you still a hot mess. You still a hot, hot mess. But you got grace. You know what I'm saying? You've been forgiven. So there's peace. There's comfort in that, you know. And it does bring about a change in you. It does, honey. I used to, Lord have mercy. Listen, I used profanity like it was my job. I did. I used it like punctuation. I promise you faithfully. Ask anybody that knows me, they'll tell you. Every once in a while. And it slips out, but I catch it just as soon as I do it. So, Brian, we're talking changes, you know. Now, I mean, there's still, like I said, there's still stuff that I gotta. Sometimes I find myself getting a little negative. You know, people think that when you become a Christian, which listen, I was saved and baptized when I was 18. You know, this isn't something that I just decided or whatever. This is just something I decided to reaffirm. And, you know, people think that when you become a Christian or when you invite Jesus into your heart, that, oh my God, all the fun stops and you can't do this and you can't do that, and oh, you're perfect now. And it doesn't work that way. He doesn't take every single thing away from you. You still struggle. I mean, I get negative. Sometimes I get hateful. But it's one of those things that makes you aspire to be better. Do you know what I'm saying? You want people to see Jesus through you. You don't want people to you know, like I said the other day, you want to live so that people will want to know you're Jesus. Do you know what I mean? Because we've all encountered people who, you know, are just hateful, and they're Christians and they're hateful, and they make you feel like, well, if that's what Christianity is, I don't want any part of that. No, I can stay home and be hateful on my own. Don't worry about it. Because to me, that's not Christianity. You know, a true Christian isn't hateful. I mean, we can get hateful, but I'm talking, you know, people, their general, just their general presence, you know, the way they present themselves, you know, typically. If you encounter somebody and they are just a hateful old codger, but then they want to turn around and say that they're a Christian, you better tell them, honey, you best go back to church for a little bit. You need some more time. You need to go back in the oven for another 20 minutes or so. But honey, the beauty of it is that we don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to be perfect for Jesus to love you. You know, you don't have to be this shining, you know, sunbeam hanging over your head kind of person. You just have to love him and let him love you. And you just have to have faith, and you just have to invite him into your heart, and you just have to want to be better, and you have to want to just change your life for the better. I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to be like a hall monitor, stick in the mud and tell everybody what they are and are not allowed to do that. I can't stand that. That's not what being a Christian means. It doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean, Jess, and unless you want your identity revealed, I'm finishing up this morning's podcast, so just don't say nothing. She don't care. But, and I lost my train of thought again. And this house is an absolute disaster. And you look really pretty. You're welcome. All right. So anyway, basically what it boils down to is I've lost my train of thought yet again. It's one of the benefits of having the attention deficit disorder, and that you're welcome for that. So I will come back later. We'll discuss more things. I may have more things to say. I may not. But you all be good, behave, and I will talk to you later.